Being a channel that focuses on cleaner, greener, safer and smarter transportation, I've got to admit that I never really thought I'd have to learn the inner workings of the stock market. Yet, thanks to Tesla and some other companies that are now traded on the stock market, I've actually learned a whole lot more in the last 12 years of doing this job than I ever thought I would. I mean, I've learned about what gross automotive margin is and what the difference between adjusted and non-adjusted balance sheets are. And I've got reasonably good at understanding market cap and all of those other things you need to know when you're covering publicly traded companies. And yesterday, Tesla, whose share price has been hovering between $1,400 and $1,600 since its very positive second quarter earnings report, has announced something called a 5-for-1 stock split. While this particular stock market action won't fundamentally affect Tesla's vehicles or even its day-to-day operation, at least initially, I've seen an awful lot of confusion and misinformation flying around on the internet discussing this news and what it does and doesn't mean. As a team, we sat down and we chatted and we asked ourselves if we thought it would be a good idea to explain this term to you all. And after a quick straw poll on Twitter, combined with hearing the news yesterday that a small publicly traded medical company called Lucid Inc., which is absolutely no relation to Lucid Motors, experienced a 241% jump in share price on Lucid Motors' 517-mile EPA range announcement, well, we decided it would probably be best to assume people don't know what's going on here and just explain it from that point. So today, you're going to get a video explaining what a stock split is, what it means for Tesla, its employees, and its existing shareholders. If you're already a stock market pro and you know what one is, don't feel bad about skipping this video. It's all good. I promise. Simply put, a stock split is what happens when a publicly traded company takes one share and then splits it into multiple shares that, when combined back together, equal the original share in value. A 3-for-1 split would involve issuing 2 additional shares for every share that someone already owns. A 4-for-1 would involve giving shareholders 3 additional shares for every share they own, and you've guessed it, a 5-for-1 split would give shareholders 4 new shares for every share they already held. What it isn't, however, is some magical increase in value. Yes, Tesla's stock did soar more than 8% after the announcement was made on Tuesday, which essentially means that each of its current shares pre-split are now worth more money than they were, but the actual act of splitting shares doesn't make you anything. That's because when the split occurs, each share becomes a fraction of the total value of the pre-split share price. For example, if you have one share in a company worth $1,500 pre-split, and the company then executes a 5-for-1 share split, you will actually end up owning 5 distinct shares worth $300 each. Your shareholding is still a total of $1,500 worth, but instead of owning one share, you now own 5, and the individual price of each share is 1/5 of what the pre-split share price was. So why split? Well, here's where it gets interesting. When you have stock that's very high in its value and is considered overvalued, as is the case with Tesla stock right now, the point of entry to owning that share is pretty high. And while there are investment platforms and funds that let you own a fraction of a share, think online portal Robinhood or perhaps a mutual retirement fund, if you want to actually completely own a single Tesla share right now, you need to spend a lot of money to buy one in full. Splitting the stock allows those who aren't currently shareholders to get in on the action, and frankly, it's a lot easier to manage than this whole fractional shareholding business. What's the benefit to Tesla? Well, as I've just said, it helps Tesla have a wider and more diverse shareholder base, not just those who got in early on day one, or large wealthy mutual funds and corporate investors. But it also means that Tesla can more easily offer its employees the chance to have stock-based compensation as part of their total employment contract. It's far easier for Tesla to offer workers a certain number of shares when the shares are worth 1/5 of what they are today, than to offer the same number of shares when they are far, far more expensive. As to shareholders, well, while the original split will mean that shareholders have no extra value in their shares than they did the day before the split, it gives them the chance, should they wish, to sell some of their new shares while retaining a shareholding in Tesla. And of course, if Tesla continues to rise in its share value, which I have no doubt it will, that flexibility will be essential for current shareholders who want to continue to support Tesla, but also ensure their portfolio is working hard the way they want it to. I should also note here that stock splits are pretty common. Apple's done it several times in the past, as have other well-known high-flying companies. Now we can just add Tesla to that list. So what actually happens when this split occurs? Well, according to Tesla's official announcement, on Friday, August 28th, after the close of trading on Wall Street, anyone recorded as a shareholder on August 21st this year will be issued 4 new shares for every existing share they already own. Each new share, as well as the original share, will be then worth 1/5 of the pre-split stock price at the close of trading on August 28th. Then, the following Monday, that's August 31st, Tesla will begin trading again, with all shares now worth 1/5 of what they were at the close of business on Friday. Shares will go up and down as they did previously, but the point of entry to Tesla shareholding is now far lower. And I think that is a really good thing for everyone. That's it. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.